Dynasty fans, we may have found Mike Evans 2.0. Today, we're going to look at Tetairoa McMillan's tape and see if he'll be a superstar in the NFL and if he'll be the wide receiver 1 in the 2025 Dynasty rookie draft class. To kick things off, we're going to look at McMillan as a freshman against USC. Then we're going to look at McMillan as a sophomore against Mississippi State. And lastly, we're going to look at a sophomore game as well against Colorado. So here's a freshman, not expecting too much, hoping to see some flashes, but the purpose of this is just to kind of understand what he does well and see that he was truly dominant and already showing flashes at a young age before he broke out at 20 years old as a sophomore. So right here, it's just going to be a simple little out route. Again, remember, this isn't his strong suit because he is 6'5", but it needs to be in his bag somewhat. Again, good route, just does what he needs to do. Great catch. Now this play here is where he's on the outside. Just going to put him on a streak and say, go get the ball. He's a freshman. They don't care. They trust him. Beats his man off the line. He's still right there with him, but he had enough initial separation to where the quarterback wants to throw it. Two guys on him there and goes up and get it. I wish I could get a better angle of him catching this ball. Unfortunately, all 22 for college isn't great. I'm sure you know that. But two guys on him. You can see he hangs on to it. Phenomenal catch. Unbelievable, and that's what he does so well. Here, you're going to see him win on the outside. Again, doesn't get the throw here, but he was open. So let's rewind that a bit and actually see his release. You're going to see, again, at the bottom of your screen, does a nice little move on the outside and just swipes the hand down, gets a step on his guy, and is open, even though the quarterback decides to throw it to the other hash line. Here's a play where McMillan is the clear decoy, just takes his defender out of the play, but extends it long enough to where he's now asked to create with the ball and just first initial reaction. Look at how smooth he runs. We'll wind that back just a little bit, but he gets the ball, and keep in mind, he's 6'5" moving like this, 215 pounds, 210 pounds, whatever he's listed at. He should not be able to move like this. These are your specimens like Mike Evans, and that's why that's the perfect comp for him. He just moves so gracefully, so smoothly, and is extremely fast for his size. Last little clip we'll see from this game, just a nice little release to the outside. Doesn't get the throw, but clearly draws the separation. Good route by McMillan. After that quick game from his freshman year, we're going to go look at the various parts of his game, starting off with him being a deep threat. Winning at the outside position is what he does best, and we're going to look at some contested catches and how he wins down the field, which is his best attribute. So, first clip here against Colorado, Travis Hunter is on him. Can't really get too much separation. He had it initially, but Hunter does a great job flipping his hips back, sticking to him like glue. He has half a step on him for a second. Hunter, it kind of looks like he pulled him back. That may have been a holding, or he may have just done a really good job recovering. Wouldn't be surprised by either, but he definitely showed some good signs. It wasn't a bad route by McMillan at all. Overthrown as well. Didn't even give him a chance to win against Hunter in the contested catch category yet, keyword, but not really knocking too much because this is elite competition. Hunter will be a top 5 pick if he comes out as a corner, so this is going to be super important to look at. In the red zone, gonna run a little in route to breaking out route back of the end zone, and he doesn't actually get the throw here, but you can watch, sells it like it's a zig, and just breaks to the back of the end zone. He's clearly open. He has a yard and a half of separation on his guy, just doesn't get the throw, and instead almost throws a pick. They're going to send McMillan on almost a slot fade. Again, it's going to be a tough ball, but we'll see. Runs the route pretty well, kind of just breaks in. He has the separation. He has space, but the ball's behind him. He tries to make a contested catch. One guy right in his grill and kind of just gets swatted down. I believe that's Hunter as well. Next play is just going to be a deep shot by McMillan, and they're just going to let it rip. So he's going to go all the way down the field. Quarterback buys a ton of time and just launches this right into two people. I don't know how he came down with it. Let's watch this again from the end zone angle, and it's just absolutely launched. McMillan, two guys on him, comes back, adjusts for the ball, and just gets down to make sure he doesn't get absolutely clobbered by this safety right here. unbelievable catch, wins deep down the field, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to provide you those chunk 60, 70-yard gains, which will be game breakers for fantasy football. We're going to see McMillan run almost a post route near the red zone. Isn't going to get the throw once again, but very good route. Kind of leverages like he's going to break a post inside, cuts back right outside. Again, it's within the time the quarterback had to throw. He was just staring down his number one read, but he was open. He could have got the ball here, and that definitely would have resulted in a touchdown. Some redemption here in the red zone. Just going to run into the back of the end zone. And yeah, I'll just let this play out, but does a good job. I mean, he's kind of running right into someone. I don't know what the play is. He's clearly running his route. I don't know what the play design was, but the play design was clearly, I don't care. I'm going to throw it up, and T-Mac is going to come down with it almost every single time. Again, great angle here, but just absolutely mosses his defender right on him. That's an unbelievable catch. At 6'5" and being able to just pluck the ball out of the air like that, that's an unfair combination. Going back to the Colorado game, this is more of a zone coverage, but it's still going to be a deep shot down the field. Going to run about 20 yards, and two guys right here, safety right here around him, has to make an incredible leaping catch, shows off the great hands, and comes down with it. Fantastic catch by McMillan here. And yes, I alluded to this before, but I had to put it last. We're going to see one-on-one, top 5 corner in the class, Travis Hunter, gives him a fade route, and what's going to happen? Turns around, one-handed catch? I mean, that's not even Hunter's fault. How are you supposed to guard this? Please tell me. Beautiful ball, turns around, uses his body to a T, and just snags the ball with one hand out of the air. Are you serious? This is a fantastic catch, and what makes it so impressive is that is a damn good corner you have on him right there. I hope you guys are enjoying the video, but I just want to take a quick break to talk about Smash Up Fantasy Sports. It's a traditional fantasy football game, but includes power-ups. So it's a DFS style game where you have a budget to build a lineup, but you also get certain power-ups you can put on players. Let me show you. The starting lineup is very similar to your fantasy league. It's 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, flex, kicker, and defense, and you get $50,000 to build your lineup. So you can spend that however you want. This is my stack squad. But the best part about this is the cards feature. So it's not just random bonuses for everyone on your team. This is very strategic. For example, you get $12,000 to budget on your players, but I put starting wide receiver on Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'll show you another example. Starting running back. I'm going to put this on Devon Achane. Boom. Your starting running back gets 1.5 times multiplier to their score. So you can put it on as many or as little players as you want, but you have to stay in budget. If you guys want to take me down, you can join my league. If you guys want to play against me, join my league. I'll link it in the description and comments. And if you guys join, we'll be giving away a ton of prizes throughout the season. And potentially, if you guys like it, we could even be giving away some money. If you guys want to join, again, this is completely free. Link will be down below. Let's hop right back into the video. Now, for the next part of his game, we're going to see how well he moves with the ball. Again, I talked about this a little bit in his freshman season, but another part of what makes him so good and not just your typical jump ball receiver in the red zone is he is very fast. He is very smooth for how big he is, and he actually has pretty good playmaking abilities. We'll see it in these clips right here, but we'll see a screen right here, gets the ball, takes it against Colorado, and does a decent amount with it. Picks up 7-8 yards. Again, just stands out to me every time I watch him. He passes the eye test, looks so incredibly smooth with the ball in his hands. Screen right here, clearly knows what to do with the ball, follows his blockers, cuts it up, and picks up a nice 10-15 yard chunk play. Not a screen, but here kind of goes off script. It's supposed to be a curl, but quarterback buys enough time where you'll see McMillan kind of dash into the middle of the field and try and make a play with the ball in his hands. So you'll see here, runs his initial route, stops, solid route, is open, then comes back to the ball and just makes a great play with the ball in his hands, picks up an extra 5 to 7 yards. Nice little crosser here. They're going to try and get him the ball in space about 10-15 yards down the field, and that's exactly what's going to happen. It seems to be zone coverage. gets the ball, and just turns around, turns on the Jets, and it seems like he's getting tackled here. Nope, shakes the guy, and puts on the burners. I need to watch this back from the end zone because I thought he was going to get tackled right after he caught the ball, but does a great job avoiding the tackle. And look up, these are cornerbacks and safeties, and he's just outrunning all of them for about 70 yards. Again, we talked about this earlier, but these chunk plays are what makes Mike Evans so good. The ability to have a red zone fade and also a 70-yard touchdown in the same game. After that, though, we want to look at how complete of a receiver he is. We're going to look at some balls to the boundary and see how he runs his out routes, all that kind of stuff, to see, is he really bad? Is this going to be a serious deficiency at the NFL level? Or if he's not great at it, is he good enough to where it's not going to be a huge disadvantage to his offense? And can he still, pick up those cheap receptions from time to time in PPR leagues? So on this out route, it's actually not really a great starting rep. You're going to see he tries to get to the outside, gets bumped a little bit, but he actually is open, but you don't want to see that bump. Not a great rep for T-Mac there. Let's move on to the next one. This is going to be a corner route. Doesn't separate extremely well on this either. In zone coverage though, so it's not going to matter too much. He just really rounds that instead of making it sharp, which is why he doesn't draw the separation. Still does a great job actually catching the ball. Just the lack of separation makes it too late and he's not able to get his feet in bounds. He's going to come right back though. Again, sharper turn here, and he has Hunter lined up on him, so this is more of a one-on-one, and is going to go break to the outside. Uses his body, not great separation. Again, it's fine this time, doesn't round it as much, but gets great positioning and plucks the ball in the air. Fantastic hands once again. This is the only time I'm really going to talk down on T-Mac, but it's going to be a curl, and this actually may be one of the worst curl routes I've seen in my life. I don't know what he was thinking here, but I mean, it took him like 5 seconds to turn around and just does nothing with it. He needs to improve. I'll tell you that this is only 3 games, so it's not the biggest sample. We'll watch this in 2024 to see if he improves. But yeah, that was just not good at all, and that's something that he needs to improve on, or it's just going to get cut out of his route tree completely. Another deeper out route, not the best route once again. Still is kind of rounding these out routes, but gonna run up. It's not the worst. It's enough separation to where he gets the space, gets the ball, makes a nice catch. Solid route there. Kind of weird route, actually. It's kind of almost at like a 60-degree angle. I don't really know. It wasn't like I don't know if it was by design, but kind of like does a half in route, half zig route, and it works. He gets the separation, but the corner's also playing super far off of him. Interesting play. I'm not really sure what the play call was there, so can't really read too much into that, but I don't know if he did that on purpose or he kind of messed up and ended up being a pretty good route. Even though this actually goes down as a catch, this is yet another bad route. I really don't care that it was actually caught. Just so slow, and that's just completely rounding it. Comes back to the ball, which is nice, but yeah, that was a really bad route. So not a ton of positive things to the outside. It's solid enough, but he needs to improve that. We'll look at that for 2024. However, that's not what he's really going to be asked to do, is separate on a dime. He does enough to where if he's put in a position, he can catch it because he's getting good body position. He does everything right except for the footwork to create a ton of separation. So overall, I think he'll be okay in the NFL. But now we're going to look at some more in-breaking routes. This is going to be just a little in route right here. And this is a lot more important for T-Mac because it makes it easier to turn up the field and get yards after the catch. Again, kind of just gets in the middle of the field. Broken play. He was open there. It was kind of an in route or a curl route, one of the two. Does a good job recognizing zone coverage and gets open, just no target there. Here's going to be a crosser that he runs pretty well on top of that, and it's going to be stacked on top of a deeper route, so doesn't get the target, but you can see in the middle of the field that he's definitely open. He has the ability to throw the ball, but the quarterback's looking downfield, which is a fair point, and I just want to point out, though, that McMillan definitely was open, and it's a solid route by him as well. Here's a slant route. Runs this pretty well, actually, but not going to get the completion because it's a bad throw. He's clearly open, though. Really good to see him win off the line and actually create separation there, which is something I was a little surprised about after watching him run out routes. Another slant route here. It's not the best separation, but it's not bad either. If it was a good ball, there's a chance. I mean, he has half a yard of separation. He has the body position on his man. Just not a great throw. Way over his head. Nothing you can do there. Doesn't even give him a chance to pluck the ball out of the air. Another crosser route here. This time it's going to be man. And actually does a pretty good job using his hands off the line. Uses them to push his guy up the field. Creates the space. Leverages it. Gets pretty wide open actually. And just turns this into a nice big gain. Last two throws of the film, neither are very exciting. Again, just two in-breaking routes. Doesn't get a ton of separation here as well. It is near the line of scrimmage, but does a good job of hanging on through contact. We'll run this through as well, and it's going to be a slant route. Does actually get pretty good leverage on his guy, so let's actually run this back to the beginning. He's going to be on the outside, and matched up pretty far away, so that's also kind of tough to run a slant route. You kind of want to win off the line, but good job by McMillan getting to his spot, running it pretty crisp, nice break, uses great body position, and just hangs in there and catches the ball. After watching the film, Tetairoa McMillan is my wide receiver 1 over Luther Burden, and a lot of it comes down to the fact of how good he is being 6'5", 210 pounds. That just gives him more upside in my opinion, and even looking at Pal Howdy's college database, he averaged 18.1 fantasy points in college, showing that his profile can get it done in fantasy football. He's unbelievable at the catch point. He's a very nuanced route runner for his size, and he's not just a one-trick pony. He actually lined up 143 routes or snaps out of 128 in the slot, which is pretty solid for someone his size. He has great body control, very strong hands, and he's not the fastest player, being so big, but he's very smooth, and that really stood out to me on tape. The one concern you have is the separation. He's not amazing, but again, he's 6'5". He doesn't need to win that way, and I think that he truly can put everything together and do what he did in college, project that to the NFL. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more Dynasty content, we'll be putting it on a Dynasty channel exclusively going forward, but for now, just subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.